Yes, sorry for the delay.
No worries, no worries. Okay, well, the goal, I guess, for today is to take you through Easy Order and kind of get familiar. But before I do that, I'd like to know a little bit about who I'm training and how long you've been in business and how'd you get started with Cartridge World?
Well, my name is Ana. I'm the second owner. The first owner is my husband,
Sure.
Alejandro.
Mm-hmm.
We are from Argentina. We
Awesome.
started the business like with the grand opening and everything in January.
Okay.
We bought the business in April, but we came to the country and did the training and everything in November last
Okay.
year.
Yeah.
So we only have a couple of months going.
Yeah.
The store is a really brand new store. It didn't exist before in our location.
It's great.
There are other stores nearby, but here in this location is new.
Awesome. Well, cool. So, obviously, a big part of your business is going to be the retail storefront, but also a big part of your business is going out and getting business to business customers.
Yep.
And the business to business customers, I call them the bread and butter of your toner business, because they're the ones who are going to have the bigger orders. They're the ones who are going to have the multiple locations with lots of different printers and things like that. So it's really important for you as a salesperson and business owner to make sure that you have something to go out and not only be able to cater and market to these business to business customers. You have to have something that's going to set yourself apart from your competition and really give that customer service oriented value from buying from a cartridge roll. They can go buy a cartridge from anywhere. And so if you can give them things that make you unique and give better customer service to them than any other website and any other people selling ink and toner, you'll win the business over somebody else who just kind of offers the basic. And so
Yes, but my question is: this is for the customers we already have, or this is to get new customers?
it's both. Yeah.
About
So we have a way for you to take the customers you already have and set them up online and give them online ordering and make it a lot easier for you to deal with their
okay,
orders and stuff. And then we have a quote system, because the other side of this business is not only taking care of your customers, but it's going and getting new business. And
yes,
so we have a quote system, that we built that is the most. It's the easiest quote system out there to create good looking professional quick quotes, and then also it has a lot of functionality to help you close the deals. So
okay,
whereas a lot of quotes you just kind of give the quote and you hope that they order from you, this really gives you some tools to get you down the path so that they're closer to ordering from you than normal.
okay,
So we'll start off talking about getting current customers on Easy Order. Everything is online now, as you know.
yes,
Amazon's and everything are taking over the world, and if you're not selling online, then you may as well be left in the dust like Blockbuster Video. Um,
uh-huh.
so you gotta make sure that you offer the same things that other people do, and convenience is one big part of it. If you can be an easy way for them to order online, they're going to go with you over somebody else who isn't. So that's what Easy Order does. Our background, my name is Kat. I'm the owner of RemanResource, and we started this business 14 years ago, helping people sell, ink and toner. We actually started in the ink and toner business.
Okay,
My dad had a pharmacy, and he brought in inkjet refilling, and then we ended up needing to do toner, and then needing to sell online, and so we created this tool for ourselves.
okay,
So that we could have something unique for our customers, and they loved it so much that we started offering it to other people. Now that's all we do is the software. We sold our business in 2008, but it really does matter, because a lot of software people are just software people, and they just are trying to make software to sell other people. What we are is we're ink and toner people who have done this before. We've been in your situation. We know what it takes to sell and get business and do school contracts and things like that. And
okay,
so it comes from a place of we know what you need to do, and so I think we have the better software. So
okay,
I'll show you. Start with the basics, and I'll just go through this like you've never seen it before.
okay,
We're going to start off setting up a current customer. So the first thing you're going to do is go to manage customers. It's the first thing on the
okay,
list there. And so once you get to manage customers, all the buttons you're ever going to need to work with on Easy Order are going to be at the top. And if you are unsure of what the button is, just hover over it, and we'll tell you a little explanation of what this button will do. Also, just do you have a lot of Spanish-speaking people in your area for not only yourself maybe, but the people who use EasyOrder, your customers?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So if your web browser, if the people's web browser who are your customers are natively in Spanish, and that's how they like to read things, EasyOrder is completely translated into Spanish.
Okay.
And so if their web browser has to be set to read everything in Spanish, and if it is, you'll see this back end, all of this area will be in Spanish, and then for the customers, all their order forms and everything will be translated into Spanish. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay.
So I'll start with adding a new customer. We'll just click new, and it starts just asking a little bit about the main company for the customer. I'll call this, Cats Auto. And the first thing you'll need to know is that because EasyOrder is not e-commerce, it's a closed ordering system. So these order forms you're going to be creating between you and your customer are private. So you're not sharing your prices with the whole world. When you give somebody a price on their order form, only your customer will see that. So you can actually have different pricing on your order forms for each customer. So if you want to give somebody a little bit better deal, you can do that without showing anybody else. So if you do bid for a school or a government, or say you have a price that you've given that's special to a customer, you can actually click on this yes, and it will lock that customer's order form, so that if you do price updates later on, it won't affect them. So if you promise somebody a certain price and you don't want to change it, you can lock their order form, excuse me, and they won't change when you do normal price updates. The second thing was we're just going to fill out basic info here. Counting Austin, Texas, that's where we are. And then I'm going to go ahead and click save, and that's going to save this customer to the system. So it'll be Cats Auto. So there's a difference between a customer and, because a customer can have one location or they could have 40 locations. It just depends on the customer you get and how you're setting them up. So the first thing it asks you for is the location name for the customer. If this customer is just one location, you can leave the Cats Auto in there, and it'll assume that that's just one location for the customer.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Sure, sure.
Hello.
Hey, sorry, no problem. So what I was saying was you can have one location for a customer, and if you do, you can just leave it there with the Cats Auto put in there. Or if this is like Cats Auto in a different city, you could be like, this is Cats Auto Austin or Cats Auto Dallas, or store number 405, 450, or whatever, and that will indicate the location name for the customer. So the customer's name's Cats Auto, and this location is number 450. And so that's how you would set up each order form for a multi-location customer. You would just go to Cats Auto, add another order form, and start setting up that location. And so I just wanted to explain the difference between a customer and a location.
Okay. You first add the customer info,
yes,
and then the location information.
That's correct. And if it only has one location, you can leave it Cats Auto. But if it does have another, number or a store number or a different city or whatever, you can set up multiple locations for the same customer that way. For login, you just want to give them something, similar to what their name is. Make it easy. I used to put Cats Auto. See if that's available. It is. The password is in there. You can change this to something more manageable that's not so crazy, but the customer usually will never see the username and password, so you don't really have to worry about it. I'm going to go in here and put myself in as the customer. Okay, and then whatever phone number. So this is the first part where it kind of gets to be not just an order intake system for you, but it actually helps you market your business, helps you keep you in front of your customers. And so the first thing we have is an order frequency reminder. So a lot of times when I was in business, I would look at an old invoice on my desk, and I'd be like, oh, that's Cat's Auto. I haven't heard from them in probably 6 months.
Okay.
And when I thought of that, it was probably too late, because if I hadn't heard from them in 6 months, most likely they're ordering from somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah, and so this order frequency reminder basically will allow the system to give you a reminder when the customer hasn't ordered in a certain amount of time that you set. And so if it gets to 90 days and Cat's Auto hasn't ordered, the system will give you a notification saying, hey, Anna, check out the customer Cat's Auto because they haven't ordered in the time frame you specified. And that helps you keep in front of your customer because it reminds you to follow up. It reminds you when they're not ordering so you can check on them before they go somewhere else.
Okay.
That's a handy feature. You always want to make sure you plug in something there because the system will track that. We also have a feature where if you turn it on, the system will actually send an email to the customer saying, oh, customer, we haven't heard from you in a while. One of our reps will be checking on you. So instead of you having to follow up, the system will help you follow up for the customer.
Okay.
So the next thing in here, order reminder, you can have sales reps. If you hire sales reps, you can put them in there, tag them to customers, and then run commission reports. You can put your tax rate in here. It's per customer per order form. So either it's going to be 0 if it's a school or a church. If it's anything else, you'll have a default tax rate that you'll set in the back end, and then that will always apply to the customer unless you need to change it here.
One question.
Mm-hmm.
I have a customer that, for example, he buy in January. He paid cash and he didn't provide the email information.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to create this profile, can I send a reminder to his phone?
Well, you could basically call him up and ask him for his email address, and then send it. But there's no way you can get. I mean, everything goes through email. There's no SMS with EasyOrder, so it's all email. So they'll have to have an email address on the system. Even just to have an account, they have to have an email address in the system.
Okay.
So discount rate, if you want to give somebody a discount on top of your already low prices, let's say it's a church or something, and you want to give them an additional 10% off for Reman, you could put that in, and it would discount off your already low prices. So that's only an extra discount on top of your normal stuff. With Cartridge World and anywhere else really that delivers ink and toner, hold on, let's go, hold on. Hold on in training. Okay, so for delivery and shipping, a lot of people will just say free shipping all the time, which is fine, but you really don't want to get into delivering stuff that's a $20 cartridge and they want it delivered. You really want them to order enough to make it okay for you to do free delivery. So what a lot of cartridge rolls do as a base, they'll put $7 as delivery and shipping, and they'll put the free shipping minimum at $75. And what this will do on the order forms is when the customer orders that $24 cartridge and they want you to deliver it, and they go to submit the order, it'll say, oh, you get free shipping at $75. Do you want to add anything else? And so it sort of upsells them to get them in the zone to where you can ship for free. Otherwise, it will charge them that $7, and customers will usually add more to their cart to avoid paying for the shipping. Okay. So it's a good way for you to upsell your customers into, not just ordering something cheap and, expecting you to deliver it for free.
Okay.
You can put notes in here if there's specific notes you want to put in for the customer that you don't want the customer to see, but you want your staff to see. You can put notes in there. Here's the shipping information. You can copy that down to the billing. As a cartridge world, you can't use our payment processing yet. I'm working on that. We do have the ability to take credit cards, but for you, EasyOrder will just be an order intake method. You won't be able to have the customer pay for it right away.
Okay.
If you do get a big customer and you absolutely have to have it, if the customer's like, we won't do business with you, but it's a big account and you absolutely have to have it, talk to me about it and I'll try to add it for you, just because, obviously I don't want you to stop doing business because of that feature. And so I've helped cartridge rolls before use credit card processing if they really needed it. Okay. Hey, baby.
¿Qué? En un rato vamos, okay? Okay.
So after we've created all this basic information for the customer, and it seemed like it took a while because we went through every little piece, but it really doesn't take long to fill out. You just click save, and this is where now that you've gotten all their information in, now you're going to build their order form for them. And so this is where our database comes into play. Our database is really robust. I've built it myself over the 14 years, and we always add to it every day, and so it's very solid. It's a lot of databases aren't built for the proper way to display ink and toner, and so ours is. It's a lot easier to read than a lot of other ones that seem really confusing. But what you want to do is you start off with a product category. So are you going to select Reman, OEM, other, or custom? So Reman is usually anything aftermarket. OEM is anything brand new that you're not going to make a ton of money on, but it's because it's brand new. Other could be compatible or any other kind of cartridge you want. And then custom is for anything you want to sell that's not a printer cartridge. So if you want to sell them a printer, a copier,
like paper, or
paper, anything that's not a cartridge, you can add as a custom product to your own system, and then add that to customers' order forms as you build them. So you can really do anything you want to. Most people just use Reman for anything aftermarket and OEM for anything brand new, but you can really do anything you want to. You can actually rename these things like silver, bronze, gold, if you wanted to do something like that. But I'm going to do Reman, and then I'll pick the manufacturer. Notice we kind of keep the manufacturers down to what people really order. So it's not just all the crazy thousands of manufacturers, just mainly the stuff that people really order. So HP, and you can select by printer or by cartridge. And so I'm going to go ahead and select by printer. The reason, a lot of times you're probably used to getting people's cartridges from them, but if you start getting their printers, more things go with one printer than with a single cartridge. So if I was to add a color laser printer that had 4 toners and 4 drums, I would be adding things all day, doing it one by one by one. But if you add by their printer, you can add them all at once, and it makes it a lot easier. So in our download section, which I'll show you in a minute, we have a worksheet that you can download. It's called the Customer Printer Worksheet. And with that, they download it, and you can send it to them via email. And they open it up, and it's a digital PDF. So they just click in it and type in it, and then save it and send it back to you. So there's no printing or scanning or any of that. They just kind of fill it out. And the worksheet asks them, who's using this printer, what department is it in, and what's the make and model of the printer. And if they give you that information, you'll have everything you need to set up EasyOrder. So I'll go HP printers, and then let's say I'm looking for like the Color LaserJet 2600. Instead of typing in Color LaserJet, just type in that model number, and you'll find a lot more, the 2600. And then go to the one that you want to select. If you notice, all the cartridges associated with this product come up. We have the black, there's the dual pack black, cyan, yellow, magenta. There's the fuser, the transfer roller. There's even the Xerox branded compatibles that work with this HP printer as part of that. So if you were to sell those are in our database. And basically you just click save from here once you select the cartridges you want the customer to have on their order form, and they're here ready for you. Now this is where that name, like who uses the printer, comes in. This is, maybe Cat's copier, and I'm in the sales department, and so you can really customize it for the customer. So instead of just being an item on their order form, now this is Cat's copier in the sales department. So it's much easier when somebody in that company goes, hey, I need a blue one for Cat's printer. They don't have to remember the model number anymore. They don't have to remember really the printer that I had anymore. They just go, that's Cat's copier. I'm going to order the blue one because they see the blue ink. And so they don't have to remember, that long model number anymore that they're not familiar with. And it makes it a lot easier for them to order. So here we have a retail price, and then your price that you're going to sell it for. So where we get this retail price, just so you know, for about 90% of the stuff, we've built something, for lack of a better term, called a scraper that goes out to Staples' website every week and scrapes off the new retail prices if it's changed every week, and it updates our system. And so you can look at these prices and know that probably pretty much at a Staples around you, it's going to be very much close to that price, and it's going to be updated weekly. So that's where we get these prices. Where these prices come in are this price is just like this is not a suggested price. This is not what you should sell your cartridges for. This is not what Cartridge World says you should sell your cartridges for. This price is basically just 30% off this price. We're giving you kind of a baseline of the normal margin, for cartridges. So that's just kind of giving you a little hint to that's 30% off, but obviously, you may sell this for 60 even, and you may sell this one for 66 even. And if you were to do that, copy it all the way down, you have your price in here now. Now, if you want to set this price so that the next time you put this cartridge on any order form, that your prices come up now, you can check this global box next to each item, and if you were to save this for these cartridges right here, this would now be your price, and there would be a big G next to it here indicating that you've globalized that or you've priced that before in our system. So
it's like instead of this price is only for this customer, it will be for any customer.
correct. So if it's just for this customer, you leave it alone and you don't globalize it. But if you want to say, you know, as I'm creating these order forms, I want to make this the permanent price for this cartridge, it kind of helps you by being able to set that price as you're building the order form. So if you want this to be the price permanently going forward for all customers, you just click all the boxes and click save, and then that would make that be that for that. I'm not going to do that just for the demo. I want you to be able to do that on your own. Also, if you notice, as you select one of these, the cost and the SKU pop up. If you do have an internal SKU that you want to use for this cartridge, you can put that in here, and it will show up every time, so you can see what you're using. Some people put the SKU of where they buy it from. So if there's a particular SKU at like Clover or whoever you guys are buying from, and you want to put that SKU in there for this cartridge, you'll know the SKU of who you buy it from and what that is. You don't have to do that. It's just something if you want to do it, you can. Also with the cost, it'll let you know when you go to quote, when you quote somebody, you can see your bottom line, so you can know what to give them as far as price goes. Again, you don't have to use that, but if you want to, you can.
Okay.
So I'm going to click save.
But the customer will not see that.
No, customer will never see that.
Okay.
Absolutely. So we have the item in the order form. I'm just going to add one more quick item just to have a decent looking order form. HP printers. This time I'll do 8600, which is an inkjet. And I'll do this one. And I'll just add the standard cyan, magenta, yellow, black. And all the cartridges are in here. I'll call this, color copier. I'll leave that in the main department, and I'll click save. So now we have two items on the order form. And so here's the order form right here. You can drag and drop these things around if you want to order them in different ways. You can edit the item if you want to change the price. If you want to delete the item, you made a mistake, you can delete it. Cartridge World does this thing called the Why Buy a Printer program, and I don't know if you're started that yet or doing any of that.
We have one.
Okay, so for that one, if you wanted to set them up on EasyOrder, and then you wanted to tag the specific printer that you've given that person with a lease end date. So let's say it's March 2019. If we want to go out to March 2020, I went too far, but March 2020, you could set a day, and then what would happen is on this date, it's going to remind you 30 days prior, or however many days you set, that your lease is coming up for renewal, and then you need to renew that lease, or you need to deal with that. And what a lot of people do that do this with the lease, they'll edit the item, and in the printer name, you can add the serial number for the printer. So if that's the serial number for the printer, you can put that in with the name, and then you know specifically what printer you're talking about when it comes to this printer, and then you have a lease end date on it. So instead of you having to keep up with dates years out in the future, EasyOrder will keep that for you, and it'll remind you when that lease is coming up. So just so you know, we have that there as well. Also, if you want to advertise the Why Buy a Printer program, we have a header that is different than this that talks about that. So if you want me to switch your header to promote the Why Buy a Printer program, I can as well. You just got to let me know that you want that. Okay, so now that we have these two items on the order form and we talked about all this stuff, now it's time to get this to the customer. And so what you want to do when you're here is you just go up to Mail, and that's going to send a welcome email out to your customer. And so here's the welcome email right here. I just received it. It says my email program just moved it to a different folder. Hold on one sec. I hate when it does that. Here we go. Okay. Come on over. Come on over. Email. It had to load.
Okay. Cool.
Come on, email program. Fortunately, I can't control my email program.
Don't worry.
Here it comes. Come on. Come over. Okay, there it is. Okay, so the welcome email will say greetings, and it'll say the customer name with their company, and it says welcome to Easy Order. We've created this order form tailored specifically to your needs. So one thing, this is very customer service oriented. When the customer gets this from you and they say you've set up an order form for them, they think that that's really awesome customer service and you've gone above and beyond what normal people would do to get their business. So this is really one of those VIP type services that you're giving your customer. And so what we want them to do is we want them to do two things from this email. You want to tell them to watch this video right here. It says how to easily order from us. If they click on this, it will show a video from this email that we're looking at right now to how to download the icon, to how to get it on your desktop, to how to place an order, and then send the order through to you. So if they watch this video, they'll have everything they need to do right from this email to go. And what we tell them to do is we want them to click on this link right here. Click here to download your personal desktop icon. As an admin of this, I do want to show you that if a customer can't get in, if there's something wrong with their computer, or if it's really old, or if it's something else, you can actually tell them, okay, well, if you can't use the icon, then you can click on this link and you can use your username and password, and you'll be able to get in 100% every time, no matter what you're using. You'll be able to get in with that. What we want them to do is click on this link to install the desktop icon. I'll show you why. We'll go to download your desktop icon, and you'll see there's two icons. One is a bookmark icon, and literally is just like a bookmark. So if the customer is concerned and they're like, well, I don't really want to download anything to my computer.
Yes.
Is this going to harm my computer? I don't know. And just tell them, have you ever put a bookmark to a web page that you go to frequently on your computer? And they'll go, well, yeah, I've done that. And you go, okay, well, that's all this is. It's just a bookmark. And this icon called the logo icon, what it does, and for all cartridge worlds, I recommend that you try to get the customer to do this icon, is because what it does is it installs a bookmark just like this, but we do have to have a little piece of software that puts the Cartridge World logo on top of our bookmark. So if they install this icon, and they really do have to install it like a program, it will put the Cartridge World yellow icon right on their desktop. And that's a lot more powerful than to have just the regular generic icon, because it's actually using your branding. And as a Cartridge World, that's one of the things that you have, is you have a very recognizable brand. And so I'm going to save the bookmark icon by itself, and I'm going to save the logo icon, and I'm going to show you what that did. So I just saved these both to my desktop, and I just clicked on these and hit save. If the customer saves this to their desktop and it goes away and doesn't ask them where to save it, most likely their default is set to download to their downloads folder. And so as an admin, you want to remember that if a customer goes, well, I tried to download it and it didn't go anywhere and it didn't ask me where to save it, say, oh, check your downloads folder. It's probably there. But for me, I saved it to my desktop, so they're right here. So this is the bookmark right here. The other one is the logo icon, which I'll show you later on. Okay, so here's the bookmark icon, and basically all I do to get to my order form, see it says your Cartridge World name right here, and basically just click on it. You click open, and it will open up. Let's open it up over here. But it'll open up their order form that we just created for them with one click. And so the cool thing about that is most of the time they have to get to your website, they have to remember your website address, they have to remember how to get there, opening up a web browser, typing that stuff in. They have to put in their username and password to get in. And that's a lot of stuff to remember, and that's a lot to ask from your customer in order to place an order. But now, all they have to do is click on their CW Aventura logo and basically just click open, and it automatically keeps trying to open it in this window, but automatically opens up an order form just instantly that has all the stuff that they need in it. So when they get this icon on their desktop and they see you've created this for them, they're very impressed, because it's almost like you created their own little mini website just for them to place orders from. And that's kind of the power of Easy Order. If you can show them this and get this icon on their desktop, you're connected to that customer in a way that you really couldn't be before with like a phone number or an email address or anything like that. You're actually sitting on their desktop icon, and you're sitting on their desktop. So when they need to order, most likely someone's going to say, hey, we need cartridges, and they're going to go, oh, let me go to my cartridge world icon and click on it and go right to my order form. And so that's super easy. So if you look at this from a customer standpoint, to order cartridges, this is how quick it is. They click on their icon, they run it, they get to their custom order form, they get to the product that they want, they put in quantities, next to the cartridges they want, they click review order. This is just stuff like PO number, special instructions. They can look at their total, everything's good to go, and then they can submit their order right there. So that took all of probably, 30 seconds at the most for them to click on their icon, put in the quantities, and place an order with you. And so you're now more convenient to order cartridges from than any big box store, any Staples, Office Depot, Office Max, any other website out there. You have now an easier, faster, cleaner system for them to order their ink and toner and get on about their day, because the person ordering ink and toner, that's probably not their only job. They probably have 100 other ones.
Yes, of course.
And so getting that toner order easy and error-free to you is not only important to you, it's important to them, as well, because they can go on about their day. They know it's not a big chore to look up model numbers and write them down on a piece of paper and then get an email together and then send it to you. It's just so much easier for them to log into their order form, place their order, and be error-free. And you want it to be error-free because, I can't tell me the times when a customer would tell me the wrong model number and I would order that part and I would send it to them and they would be like, you sent me the wrong toner. And I was like, it's right here in my notes, but the customer's always right. So you have to make it, have to make it right. So any questions on that first part, setting up an order form, sending that welcome email, getting that icon on the desktop, why that's important? Any questions on that?
No, my question is, how does the customer receives this? I mean, for your experience, you think this is like a powerful tool?
Oh, absolutely.
Will generate more loyalty from the customer, or?
Absolutely. This is one of your sticky tools that keeps the customer in front of you. We found that once the customer orders one time in this way, they have about a 90% reorder rate for the next order, and then 100% after that, because once they get established in the system, they're used to ordering this way, the competition better come with something like really much better, which they can't, to try to get their order away from you, because you have this customer loyalty that you build by creating this order form for them. It's like you've almost done all this special stuff for the customer so that they feel entitled that they have to order from me because you've done all this stuff for them, so where anybody else is just like, come to my website or, call us if you need anything, you have a much better system to do it. So when the order comes through, and let me go back to my inbox here. Where'd it go? Basically, the customer will get
the customer. I mean, when the customer makes the order, I may have in stock or may not. So this doesn't show them shipping time or something, or not.
This is basically just a confirmation of the order. And so if you need to order something, it'll be this is just showing you what this is an example of what it looks like. Obviously, we'll have the Cartridge World logo here. Then I'll have the customer info here, what they ordered. And then it also has a delivery by department. So if you ship a box of toner to them and they don't know what's what, it'll tell them the color copier in the main department, this printer needed these cartridges, this is how many they are. So it really gives them a tool to get everything back where it needs to go. But to answer your question about, supplies and all that kind of stuff, you just want to let them know. I mean, they'll put stuff in the order, just say like no rush or 2 to 3 days or whatever, or I need it right away. And so if you have a problem with like not having something in stock, all you would let the customer know is just give them a call or send them an email back, because you can reply to this email and it'll send a note back to the customer. And you can just say, hey, I'm out of stock on this. It'll take an extra couple days for me to get it, but I'm processing your order and we've definitely received it. And you just let them know that, you let them know the expectations of when they'll receive it. But other than that, this is just your confirmation of what they want from you.
Okay.
Okay, so going back to the order form itself, and I logged way too out of that. The next part of, now that's getting current customers who are ordering with you, that's getting them ordering online. The next part is how do you get new customers with the system?
Yes.
How do you use the system to go after new customers? So there's so many, you know, obviously this isn't a marketing class, but there's so many different ways you can go out and network and get customers and use your family and friends and other kind of stuff like that. And then I also have a couple of series that I've taught on online and different conferences on LinkedIn marketing. And so if you'd like any information on doing social marketing, I have a couple of videos I can send you when you're ready for that. But basically, you just want to go out and get opportunities to quote. And so when you have an opportunity to quote, there are two really important things that you do with the quote. Is one, you want to make sure you respond as quickly as possible to an opportunity to quote. Because if you don't, I say 24 hours, but if you have to go more, you can. But the longer you wait to respond to a quote, the less likely the customer is to give you their business. And so if you can do it as quickly as possible, you're going to have the best chance of getting their business going forward. And so responding quickly to the quote is one, and two, making sure that the customer doesn't have to do anything to get back to you when they're ready to order from you, that you've done all that already. And I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to go to Manage Quotes, and I'm going to click New. And a quote is just like an order form, except for you need much less information to get it going, okay? So the first thing is company name. So I'm going to call this Cats, and let's pretend Cats Auto. I'm like, and then I'll put myself in here. And then I always say you need to add an email address because you need some of the email functionality. Okay, so now that I got the company name, contact name, and email address in there, you can put phone or whatever else you need.
Who is doing that? The customer or me?
No, you're doing it because you're creating a quote for the customer. So this is like you come back from marketing, you have a business card that is their business card, and you have a couple of printers written down on it of what they have. This is how you respond to them to let them know kind of your pricing and how to do business with you. So you do this part. There's also a way for the
but for this, I need some information. I need at least a business card.
Yes. So, I mean, like, so when you go out to market and you go out and talk to new businesses and you are asking them, you know, can I quote, you know, give you a quote for the printers you have, you'll probably get their business card. You'll probably write down a couple of printers that they have. And so that's when you come back from that day of marketing and now you need to do quotes. And now you sit down here in your quote system and you put all this info into your quote system and you're going to generate a quote for them based off what they have. So yes, you would definitely need to get some information from them before you can do a quote. So I'm going to click Add Item, and we'll do it just like before. Same process, HP printers. I'll even do the same printer, 2600. And then we'll click, we'll add the printers, cartridges we want here, and we'll click Save. So this added these, and again, you do the price thing here, same as we did before, and click Save. And so now we have the quote items here at the bottom of the quote. Here's the quote right here. And then, so basically we want to look at this quote. So I'm going to preview this real quick. This is the simple quote template where it basically just has the products. This one's really easy to print and then hand to somebody if you're hand delivering a quote. Otherwise, I need to add your Cartridge World logo there because it wasn't showing up. And also there's an advanced quote template, and this is the one we suggest you go with all the time. The advanced quote template actually has an annual order. So if you want to say if you order this 3 times a year and show them a much bigger number for savings, you'll be able to do that. So I'm going to click here to that, and I'm going to click preview, and that's going to show us what the quote looks like. So this is what the quote looks like when you print it out or when you email it to the customer. It's going to look like this. So the advanced quote has more graphics on it, that has more of your brand on it. It has this right here. It looks like some of your settings are turned off in the back so that you're not showing all the stuff. Let me go look. Yeah, you have all the set to no at the back. So no, show retail prices, yes. Show printers, yes. Show yields, yes. Show savings. Okay, cool. So all that was turned off. I'm not sure why that was defaulted to off, but so basically you see here all this stuff was turned off, the yield, the type, the prices, all that stuff. So here's the printer, here are the cartridges, this is the retail price, this is our price. You're going to say $45.60 per cartridge, you know, $48 on this one. If you ordered all of these today, you would save $193.40. And then this is the based off 3 orders per year. You can show them that much larger number with the advanced quote. You can say, so 3 orders per year, your annual savings are going to be $580 over buying brand new if you buy from us. And so that's kind of the normal quote. And what you would normally say at this point, would you tell the customer, okay, here's my quote. I guess call me at this number if you need anything. I'll be there waiting. And that's not really a powerful way to end a sales process. When you end a sales process, you want to do as much as you possibly can to get that customer to do business with you. And so with our quote system versus anybody else's quote system, we have this extra functionality I'll show you right here. It says at the bottom of every quote, don't forget, you can place an order right from this quote. Click Show Order Form to create your online order form. So what would happen when they click this button from this quote? It's a flat PDF quote that's, they're looking at in their email, and they click on this button, and it basically turns from a quote into a working order form. Let me go to one real quick. So they go right from this quote and they click Show Order Form, and it basically pops up this order form. So what it does is it converts that quote that we were just looking at right here into a working order form, and then they're looking at something like this that has the quote items that we were just looking at on it, and they can actually put quantities in and place an order directly from the quote. And so when you get to that point, when you're talking to the customer about the quote, you say, okay, here's all your pricing and everything. This is how much you'd save. And then where normally you would say, well, call me if you need anything. Or if you wanted to be pushy, you could say, do you need anything right now? And ask for the sale. But I don't like to do that because that seems forward and a little bit pushy. What I like to do is say, okay, now that you know our pricing, let me show you how to order from us. Okay. It's very unassuming. It's very, you're not asking them for much. Just like, hey, if you want to order this, let me show you how it works with us with Cartridge World. Click on that Show Order Form button. When they click on it, they'll be looking at their order form. You say, now that quote that you're just looking at, when you clicked on that button, you basically converted it into a working order form with us. And this is how you order from us. You just go and add some quantities next to what you need. You click on Review Order, and you can send the order if you want to. Now, I'm not asking you to send the order now, but I'm just saying when you're ready to order, that's how you do it. And you can even tell them, at that point when you clicked on the Convert Quote or Show Order Form button, we sent you a welcome email. And the welcome email had a link to download a desktop icon, which I showed you earlier. And just watch the video in that welcome email, and it'll show you how to download the icon to your desktop. So when you want to get back to this quote, all you have to do is just click on a button on your desktop. It'll get you right back to this quote, which is now a working order form, and you can order from us that way. So whenever you need us, we're connected to you with this desktop icon. And so the customer really thinks this is a slick situation because, one, you seem more on point than most people who are trying to get their business because you have this entire system to handle them. And two, when we started doing this with Cartridge World and teaching people to show people their order form and get the icon on the desktop, quote conversions went up about 30% as far as converting into from a customer that needs a quote to an ordering customer that stays with you. There was a 30% increase when we put this new system in place to kind of get the customer further down the sales pipeline. If you can get them from showing them a quote to having an order form in your system and having that desktop icon on their desktop, that is way more powerful than just giving them a quote and saying, please call me and keep this quote around, keep my phone number around. It's if you want the customer to do all that, keep your information around, keep your phone number around, you won't have many people turning into customers. But if you take the customer and you can convert the quote and get that icon on their desktop, you will definitely have more stickiness with customers. Your quotes will convert into long-time customers instead of just being, the quote name.
How do you know when the customer, he may receive the code, but how do you know that they will go to this button, the Show Order Form?
Well, when you quote somebody, I never just tell people to just send the quote and don't speak to the customer ever again. That's not the way you should market in this business. Anytime you get an opportunity to quote, make sure you schedule an appointment to go back over the quote with the customer. And so if it's over the phone, you want to make sure that I have your quote prepared. I'd like to just go over it with you really quickly. When do you have 5 minutes that I can do that? And let me know, and I'll call you at that time. And then you want to send the quote very close to the time you're calling the customer, so it's not buried in their inbox of email. You want to send it right before you call. And then when you call, you go over the quote with the customer, say, have it open on your end on the computer and say, okay, I'm looking at your quote. Are you looking at your quote? And they said, yeah. Okay, so up at the top, here's all our information. Here's your color laser jet 2600. Looks like the black cartridge we can do. Retails 105. We do it for $59. So we're going to save you $45.60 on that cartridge alone. And then you can kind of go through the rest of the quote with them. And we get down to this part where normally you would be done because you would say how much you could save them, and that's it. And you go, okay, well then call me whenever you need a cartridge, and you hope that they call you. At this point is when you go, okay, now let me show you how we at Cartridge World, how you can order from us, how we take orders. Just click on that button, and when they click on it, again, they'll be looking at their order form. You explain to them that, hey, you're looking at an order form right now. This is not just a quote. This is working live order form you can order directly from right now. You just got a welcome email that has a link to download a desktop icon that will take you back to this order form or this quote whenever you want, and then just save it to your desktop. Whenever you need us, whenever you need cartridges, you just click on that icon. You get to your order form that we've set up for you for ordering, and that's how that's how we take orders from you.
So when do they receive the welcome email? Once
as soon as they click
here
on that. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As soon
Yes,
as they click
because
it.
what happens to me is in these 2 months, maybe I have the opportunity to quote like 5 businesses,
Mm-hmm.
but as I'm so new. Wait a minute. ¿Qué pasa, hijo? Leche, ahora te hago. Dame un minuto. So when I have the opportunity to quote, I prepare manually by I prepare in Word.
Sure.
Something with my logo and so on. I do that.
And so that takes a lot of work for you to put all that together.
Yeah. It takes a lot of work, but especially the first and second time. Then
Mm-hmm.
I will try to copy paste,
Yeah.
But then what I do is send them the email. Okay. But after email, I usually don't call them because I don't want to feel pushy, like you say. But maybe that's wrong because
how many of those quotes converted into customers?
well, none.
None. Yeah. See, so that answers your question right there. Does that work?
No,
Absolutely
so
not.
I'm thinking what I'm doing wrong. One thing I'm not doing is to tell the customer or the prospect in advance that I will prepare the cost and then call them. So
Yes,
maybe that
and
change.
also, quoting is a numbers game, and so you're going to have to do, like, in a month, you would probably need to set a quota for yourself to do, 20, 30, 40 quotes in a month. I know people that do
I
that.
hope.
I know people who
The
do that in a week.
the truth is, so far, if I have like a one quote in a week, I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. So sometimes I think it's the price. Sometimes I think it's how to approach the customer. I really don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Well,
Because
there's
I
nothing
know
you're
the
doing
people doing.
wrong. There's nothing you're doing wrong, because in marketing, it's all just how can I do things better, or
Okay.
what do I need to do to get the most impact? Because
Exactly.
a lot of times in marketing, people spend a lot of time doing stuff that's not going to yield them any business efforts, And so, just basic marketing. I mean, you want to join a networking group, you want to join your chamber of commerce.
I did. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
And you
Yes.
want to go to all those events, and you have to be a very extroverted person who, talks to people and is not afraid of, putting your
Well,
business
I'm
on.
still working on that.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm extroverted person, but
Yeah.
I'm not salesperson.
Sure,
Yeah.
no. And I
So
understand. And what this part of this does is it gives you a proven system that is, like, proven for the last 14 years to work. As far as, if you follow the kind of methodologies that we teach, using our process and using our system will make you look really professional, will make you look like you obviously know what you're talking about, what you're doing. The system is very pro as far as, portraying that to a customer. And then all you have to work on is those opportunities to quote. Because once you start using our system and you have the videos and the different demo videos that we have, you don't have to do a lot of stuff to explain what's going on to your customer. Hold on one sec.
mm.
Reman Resource, this is Kat. John, can I call you right back? I'm in the middle of a training right now. Awesome. Thank you. I'll call you as soon as I'm done with this training. Thank you. Sorry, I do support for the business on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I answer phones because I just want to make sure I stay, in tune with everybody and talk to everybody and stuff. So it's my phones day today. So
Sorry.
I'm training and doing phones. But no, when it comes down to marketing, it's all about targeting the business you want. A lot of people, if I could tell you one big piece that you could take away and do something with, would be not to just allow the business around you to come to you, to look for businesses that you want to target and aggressively go after those businesses. So if you have, for example, an auto dealership, in your area that you know of, that maybe one of your friends or one of your family members may work for them, using any kind of like leverage you have to get into a business, and then making sure that business has enough printers and cartridges to make that a worthwhile customer. I would rather see you go after that one dealership for a month and get it that has 40 printers at it than to work really hard to get a bunch of local businesses around you to give you their one maybe inkjet printer. You want to really target businesses you want to go after rather than let the business come to you. You want to say, okay, who has the most cartridges around here? Where can I find a business that's going to have the most printers in one location?
Yeah. For example, when I go to the chamber events, I usually introduce myself and get the cards, and I know they will say, "Oh, interesting," and some of them they may say, if I need, I will call you, or maybe they won't say anything. So it happens to me that when I go, maybe that week, some of them, they will call me to offer to me their services.
Right.
But I don't know how to do that unless I have some.
Well, here's a good line for you to use, and you can steal this one from me, but I used it all the time back in the day, and it's more so even now, and especially if you're talking to CPAs or anybody like that who prints a lot, you know, most offices in general, if they have a lot of output, you can tell them, hey, look, I know that printing and printers and the upkeep of all that is roughly about 20% of your overhead. I know that people are spending a ton of money on printing. And so what we do is we can save you money. And not only that, instead of, if you were to buy cartridges from Amazon or eBay or whatever, just because they're the cheapest cartridge, I mean, that's fine. You can do that. But with us, you're not getting just a cheap cartridge. You're getting the best quality cartridge. You're getting a printer expert that knows about what printers and cartridges are. If you need anything, I am local. So you're supporting local. I can come to your office. I can figure out what's going on. I can troubleshoot a problem. I mean, you're paying a little bit more for your cartridge than you would online, but you're getting so much more in service. And so what I can do is I can not only save you 30% off the cost of the retail value of the cartridge, so I can say just 30% off retail off the top. My cartridges are guaranteed, and I'm here locally ready to help if there's ever a problem, which you're not going to get from most other businesses. So one, you really want to hit the supporting local, because your money is not going to a big corporate conglomerate that's not helping your town or your city. Your money's going back into the community, that back into the businesses, and we're here because we all support local. And so I want your business because I'm in your community. We are local, and I'm here. And so I would love to have an opportunity to quote any one of you on your business. And in fact, this next week, I'm going to start calling all the people I meet from this thing who give me a business card. I'm going to call you this next week, and we're going to set up a time to get a quote for your business, and we're going to see how much I can save you. And once I'm done with the quote, you're really going to see that this is the right way to go. And hope you give us a chance. And if you go with that,
sorry, give me one more second.
Sure.
Just 1 second. Hola. Sí, pasó algo. Dale, termina, te llamo. Chao, chao. Okay. Yes. In this way, I can also inform them in advance that I may call them, right?
Yeah, I always tell people I'm going to call them. Like, for example, earlier this week, there's a person who who did an Easy Order demo with me. He's an independent guy, not a Cartridge World. And I haven't heard from him since then. He was supposed to sign up for an account and get going. So I call him literally every week, and it's been 4 weeks now, and I haven't gotten an answer from him, or he hasn't ever picked up the phone when I call. But I tell him I'm going to call him back at the end of each conversation. I'll sit there and say, okay, I'm just checking up on you. You know, just let me know if you still want to do that Easy Order trial account. Haven't heard anything back, but we're here if you need anything. I'll tell you what, I'm going to call you next week if I don't hear from you. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye. And then, like, I'm telling him I'm going to call him next week. So when I call him next week, he shouldn't be surprised that I'm calling them next week. And so always tell people you're going to call them, because one, it doesn't catch them off guard, and two, they know in the back of their head that they're calling you, and three, as part of a chamber of commerce, they're supposed to do business with each other. Like, you guys are, that's the whole point, is like y'all are supposed to
Exactly. Yes, they are supposed to, but then they will say, "Oh, I can handle it by myself," or "I buy online," or well, like
just
that.
say, hey, you know, buying online, where do you buy it from? And if they go, well, I buy it from Amazon because it's just super cheap. And you're like, okay, well, what happens when if that toner fails? What are you going to do?
Or when they break your machine, because
Yeah.
you know, sometimes they will break your printer, or the people who buys really this cheap, then they will not clean their printers or not maintain. They will wait until it breaks.
Yeah.
So this
And
is
so,
also an issue.
yeah, absolutely. Just say, you know, you buy online and it can break in your machine. What's going to happen with that company when you bought the cheapest cartridge, it doesn't work, and then you're stuck out and you need to print right now? What you're going to do is you're going to run out to the store and you're going to pay full value for that cartridge. Now you bought 2 cartridges and you're stuck out. And so in the case of me, if that would have happened and one of my cartridges would have failed, I would have come out and replaced that cartridge as soon as possible, as soon as I have it in stock, hopefully that same day. Which you're not going to get that kind of service from online. You know, I hate when and it's unfortunate. I haven't been in the marketing part of this in a long time, as far as going out and really selling ink and toner. But back when I used to be part of the chambers and stuff, they were always like, if you could save them money, like, that's what they were down for. You know, but now I know that you can get everything everywhere. So you really do have to sell in service and in value and in other things, you know, to make sure that, you know, they'll buy from you, because it is hard to sell a commodity, which you can buy anywhere. But you have to differentiate yourself with stuff like this online ordering, being the easiest way to order online possible. One thing I want to show you real quick. Cartridge World Demo, worlddemo.com. CartridgeWorldDemo.com is a professional voiced over animated video that basically shows the customer, you know, we value your time. We've made this super easy ordering system for you that takes all the hassle out of ordering ink and toner. It shows them the desktop icon. Here's the welcome email.
The welcome email, okay.
Here's the icon on the desktop.
Okay.
There's the Cartridge World order form.
So, in which moment, should I send this to the people, or which people?
This is something that would be great, and I don't know if they give you time to do this at your chamber meeting. And again, the chamber meeting is good, but you still want to focus on those customers that you really want. They're going to have a lot of printers. But you could go up to the chamber meeting and say, hey, can I play this video for everybody? Do you ever do that at a meeting? Do they ever show anything online or do PowerPoints?
I never think about that, but it's okay.
Yeah, so you could say, let me show you this demo, and we're going to show you how our awesome online ordering system that we have that's better than anything else out there. It's the easiest way to order ink and toner possible. Watch this video. And it's only like a minute and a half long, and they can show it. This video is also good for social media. You want to put this on your Facebook. You want to tell people how awesome your online ordering system is. Just make sure you link to this URL right here and paste that in your Facebook, and check out our easy online ordering. Ask me how to get your free account. It's free for you to use. Some people put that link to the demo video in their email signature. So as you're sending around emails to people and potential people, you can say, at the top, watch how to order online from us, CartridgeWorldDemo.com, and then say, ask me how to get your free account. So in every single email, you're sending this link out to your demo video that shows what this awesome tool that you have that makes them, we tell the customers that this is like a VIP thing.
Okay.
This is a VIP premium service that we give to you that you're not going to find anywhere else. And that's one of the reasons you order from Cartridge World, is because things like this, you know.
Okay. And do you have the way to add like a button or something in my website? Because I'm thinking that also
Yes.
some people they want like to enter in my website and just order directly from there, or maybe at least reviewing
What's your
the
zip code?
prices. My zip code 33180.
So we may not have set this up on your site yet. Let me take a look.
Here.
Okay, so yeah, you have the old request a quote. I'm going to go ahead and set this up for you right now.
Yes, please.
Okay, so
Oh, repeat. Ya lo que iba a hacer el auto también, ¿eh? Ya. Ahí está, Felipe. Ahí está.
okay, so and then you are okay. So now on your page, you'll notice it's changed a little bit. Now you have these two links that says My CW Quote and My CW Login.
Okay.
Okay, what you're going to do, and let me get into a different web browser so it shows me, because it will just log me into EasyOrder because I'm logged in over there. Bless you.
Thank you.
So here's your page, and now you have, well, as soon as it loads, My CW Quote and My CW Login button. So on the My CW Quote, what this does, I'm opening a new tab. I need to turn it on for you. Hold on one sec. It's not turned on. Okay, so can I ask you a question here? Oh, and this may be because they had the error when they set up your account. Have you been back here? Did you mark any of these to no?
No.
Okay. Because I think there was an error when your account was set up, so maybe it caused that. Order option, yes. 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 Okay.
What's that? What you are?
Basically, when your account was created, there was kind of a hiccup. Normally, it gets created automatically, and for some reason, I don't know if maybe you submitted the form twice, but it didn't. There was an error
Yes.
when it was created, and so I think it set all these defaults to no because it didn't know
Okay.
if you wanted them, and so
And what's the service email? Customers can request servicing.
yeah, there's a little wrench next to each printer, and if there's a problem with the printer, you can actually click on that wrench, and it will send you a service request. And the
Okay.
reason you want that on is because a lot of times in our industry, if you don't have that on and you're not the first point of contact for a problem, they will call their printer repair person or IT person or whatever it is, and they'll come in and blame your cartridges, and then they'll kind of sell them new cartridges and kick you out of the account.
Oh, okay.
And so this allows you to be the first point of contact. So you can be, oh, there's a problem. Let me come check it out. You can pull out the cartridge. You can clean it with some computer cleaner, and then you can look at the cartridge, see if you can make it work. But you being the first point of contact in there makes sure that they contact you first for it. Okay, so back here to this. Now, this MyCW quote, when a customer logs in here, there are two things going on here. So the first thing is the customer can come here now that we have this enabled on your website. They can come here and request a quote from you. So right on our MyCW quote, instead of going to that form where they fill out all their stuff, they go here. And so what this is a lead capture system. So it may look like a quote form, and it is, but it's also a way to capture hot leads that are coming to you. So if somebody comes to cartridgeworldusa.com, they find that you're their local store, they want to get a quote, they click on here. If they put in their name, company name, email address, and phone number, those are the only things we allow them to fill out at first. We want to make this seem easy for the customer. If they fill all this out and click Get Started, what this will do is capture all their lead information and start a new quote in your system with the information that they typed in. So if you see a quote pop up in your system and you've never done it or you've never dealt with it, it's because it came from here. And it will say online generated next to the quote, so you can tell that it's come from online. If there are no printers associated with the quote, that means they got to this point and click Getting Started, and then on the next screen ask them, what are your printers, and give us your list of printers. And so if they don't have that information or don't want to do that at that point, if they bail here and they go away from this and they don't finish it up, you still have their contact information that was somebody who did want to get a quote from you at one point. And so you can use that information to call them up and say, hey, I noticed that you started an online quote with us. Let me help you finish it. So just give me a list of your printers real quick, and then I'll go back and finish your quote, and I'll send it to you, and we can go from there. And so this gives you a way to come from your website, and that's using the power of Cartridge World to get people to their website. And then from there, they find you local, and from now, they're quoting with you. And so the quote's the same quote. So if they get a quote with pricing on it, and they want to order from the quote, if they click Show Order Form, it'll turn that quote into an order form, and they can place an order directly from that quote. So it has happened that customers have come to Cartridge World USA, found their local store, got a quote, and then placed an order without even talking to you, the business owner. It's definitely happened.
Yes, before. I think what the customer wants to see is how much they can save with us, right?
And so there are a couple of things that you'll need to know about this part now that we have it turned on, is that if they get a price on a cartridge and you've not priced that in our system before, it's not going to show them the price. It'll say checking for price. And so you'll get a notification from EasyOrder that you have a quote that has unpriced items on it. And you basically will, and I'll show you what that looks like.
But you told me that the prices, you pick them up from Staples, right?
The retail price we do, but what you charge for your cartridges, we don't set that. We don't make you, charge a certain amount for it.
Usually, yes. Usually I do the 30% after Staples prices.
So let me set this up for you because this will make it a lot easier. You won't have to do the notifications. We also have a way, and this is the way I would do it too, but it's called set pricing by percentage. So these three features right here, set pricing by percentage and manage availability, these will only refer to people coming from the online system. This doesn't mess with your normal pricing. It doesn't mess with anything else. So what you can do here is say, okay, I want to add a pricing by percentage, and I'm going to say, okay, any manufacturer of any laser cartridge, I want to do 30% off. And you save that. And now anybody who comes to try to get a quote from you that is any manufacturer of any laser cartridge or any ink cartridge, you will give them a 30% off price from the retail price.
Can we do, for example, 30% for toner, but 25% for ink?
Yeah, you can even do really, instead of just doing, and I'll do that one for you here, but just for your knowledge, you can do it also for specific brands. So if you wanted to say, okay, for Brother ink, I want to do 20% off. but for HP Inc., I want to do 30% off. You could even go as far as that. But the way I've set it up for you is the way you just requested it. Any manufacturer of laser, 30% off. Any manufacturer of ink,
That's perfect.
25% off. And so they're going to get prices at these rates every time they come from here to get a quote. They'll automatically get that 30 and 25% off. And then they'll be able to click on, nobody will ever be stopped in their process. They'll always get pricing, and you'll never have to do the checking for price thing ever again.
So from here, suppose they agree with the price. They check, okay, the price is good.
Yeah.
I'm ordering from Office Depot or Staples. I see you're cheaper, and they don't call me. They will check this, and they want to buy. Can they buy or?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say here's our first quote. Let's say that this is their quote, and they just get it from your system because they'll get it now that the prices are in there. If they're ready to go, it says, don't forget you can place an order right from this quote. They click show order form, and
Okay.
it takes them to their order form, and they can order directly from that.
Okay, great.
So it's kind of a closed system. It's a closed loop. Also for this MyCW login, it takes them to this page, which if a customer can't log in via the desktop icon, they can always log in here. This is that page I was telling you could go to and enter your username and password. So you can log in here. Or if they just want to sign up for an account and then start ordering, they can click here and actually create their own EasyOrder account. Now, we don't want you promoting that like, okay, customer, if you want an account with me, go here and create your own account, because part of the lure of what you're doing with EasyOrder is creating this like customer experience where you're not having the customer do a lot of work. You're doing all the work because you want the customer's business. You know what I mean?
Yes. So how can I promote the other parts? Because
Well, yeah, absolutely. All you have to do is when you're here and you have the MyCW quote, if you right click and go open a new tab, or even if you just click on it, it will take you to this page, and this
okay.
URL, you just copy this and just say, hey, if you'd like to request a quote without speaking to us, paste that into your Facebook or whatever you're promoting with, and you can say, go here to get a link, to get a quote, and then the customer can go and get their own quote and do that. But I would stress highly that this needs to be like just business that you wouldn't get normally. Don't make this your only way that you allow people to get quotes from you, because you'll see that people will not respond as well as if you take them through the quote, you do quotes for them, that sort of thing. This should be for like
I understand.
5%
I mean,
of your business.
I prefer to do it like one by one, like
Yeah.
you explained to me.
Yeah.
I really prefer that, but I see that some people have some resistance. Maybe because they don't want you to call them or bother them
Sure.
if
Sure.
they don't want to buy from you.
Yep.
I really don't know why this happens, but I have this feeling. So maybe sometimes they don't want this to be so personal.
Sure, and that's what we built this for. So on the cases where they don't want to give you any time, just say, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to send you a link. I'm going to take your business card, and I'm going to send you a link back to our quoting system, and you can go on there. You can get your own quote. You don't have to talk to me. You can just go on and see, what we can save you. And most of the time, it'll be 30% off for toner, 25% off free. And that's the way you can do that. If a customer will give you the time of day, having this is another way to still get a quote from them, but not be pushy about it. But like I said, make sure that the customers at the end of the day do.
Okay. Hello?
I hit my mute button. Sorry about that. A lot of customers these days will really appreciate the hands-on approach, because you don't get that as much anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I know that was a lot of info. I do believe I've been recording this session. Yeah, I've been recording. And so what I'll do is when we're done here, I will produce the video and then put it on YouTube for you, so you can go back and look at it later on, and you can remember all the stuff I said. And if you need to go back and rewatch it, you can. And if you have any questions, what I suggest for you to do when you first start with EasyOrder, start with the customers you already have that are ordering from you, that are really good customers, who you're just like, hey, I'm trying this new online ordering thing out that we have. And if it works the way I think it is, it's going to make it easier for you to order. It's going to make it way easier for me to order or to manage your orders. And let's just try this out and set them up. Here's the worksheet that I was telling you about that you want to start off with. It's in the, I'm going to go back home real quick. So we start off at the normal place. It's under downloads. And you go right here to start here, customer files. Okay. And this is the PDF worksheet that I was talking about. And so this is always handy to have on you, just because you can send this to any customer, and they basically just start typing, what they have, and it's really easy, and they can just save it, send it back to you, and gets them all their printer inventory. You can send them multiple sheets if you want to. Also, doesn't hurt to have this up next to your register, printed out. And so if you also want to get your walk-in people on this, because obviously when ink and toner run out, it's normally at 9 at night when you're not open, right? And so if you can have this as an early alert system for your walk-ins, you also can use it for that as well. So when their ink and toner runs out at night, they can click on their icon, they can order it, and when you wake up in the morning, you can check your orders and say, okay, I need to make sure I have all this in stock because this person's coming in to pick this up. And if you don't have it in stock, you can tell them, hey, look, I know you ordered this online, but before you come all the way to my store, I wanted to let you know that I'm out of this right now and I'll have it in another day. And then it keeps them from like having to take a trip to your store for the cartridge they need, and then you don't have it, and then they're frustrated and they go buy it from somewhere else.
Okay.
So you can always keep this in front of your customers that are walk-ins and use this for them as well. So you can use this for walk-ins, you can use this for B2B, anything else. But take those good customers. I'd say set it like 5 of them up with online ordering this week. If you do get a chance to do any kind of marketing this week and you get an opportunity to quote, respond to the quote with EasyOrder.
Okay.
You don't have to like go through the whole rigmarole of getting the icon on the desktop at first, but you just try to get them the quote from EasyOrder and just tell them, hey, at the bottom of the order form, I want to show you how to order from us after we get this quote. Click on that button, and then they're looking at their order form, and then just tell them they get a welcome email that has a desktop icon they can download that will get them back to this quote. And if you do a mix of that, EasyOrder is a lot of rinse and repeat. So it's all the same thing over and over and over and over and over. So once you get familiar with the process, you'll be much more familiar working with your clients, and it'll basically just kind of evolve into this is kind of like how you run your business, because it really has been proven if you kind of use EasyOrder to get your workflow going, it keeps your customers, it keeps your best customers with you. It gives you a tool to go after new customers and a confidence to go after new customers because you know that this process works.
And one more thing, suppose that you have you told me when they get the quotes, even they don't complete, you still have the leads, right? How can I find the leads? I will receive an email or I need to check somewhere?
When a customer goes from here and then doesn't complete the quote?
Yes, here.
So I'll do it real quick. So I'll call this Bob's, Bobco. Info at blah blah blah.com, and then the phone number. Probably won't like those pluses in there. So once a customer clicks getting started, it takes them to okay, add your items by printer or by cartridge, and you can add items by printer. But what I'll show you here is when we go back into your system and I go to manage quotes, there's now 2 quotes in here.
Okay.
So this one, if you see this icon right here, that means the entry was generated by online. It was generated by the user.
Okay.
And so if you go in here and you go, oh, whoa, I haven't seen that. It's an online quote. Cool. Let me go look at it. You go down to the bottom. There's no printers. You can still go up here and go, oh, this is Bob. Bobco. Here's Bob's phone number. Here's Bob's email address. So I can easily respond to Bob and say, hey, Bob, I noticed you started a quote with us. Let me help you finish it. Just give me a list of your printers, and I'll go ahead and finish that for you. And they'll most likely.
In that case, it's better calling him?
Yeah, I would say call because if you email, they can just ignore your email. But if you call and go, hey, I just noticed you started an online quote with us. Let me help you finish it. They're more likely, especially if you call quickly, they're more likely to give you that printer information because they may have not done it because they're like, oh, I don't want to do this right now. But if you call up and going, hey, I noticed.
They realize a lot of information or something, or they're away from their printer and they're not sure about the model of the print.
Yeah, exactly. But you doing that shows that, one, you're very responsive, to them, and it's a warm lead. So instead of cold calling somebody, now you have the opportunity. Somebody came and gave you their contact information, and you calling them is basically permission because they gave you their contact information. So they basically just said, hey, here's my info. If you need it, use it. And so You call them up and say, hey, let me finish that quote for you. And if they're like, oh, I just didn't do it because I'm waiting on my list of printers. Okay, no problem. I'll tell you what. I got your email address. I'm going to send you an email with my contact info. So just reply to that with your printer info, and then I'll set up the quote and send it back to you. And so now you're forming a small relationship with that customer, even from them filling out that form. You know, oh, well, let me give you my email so you have my contact information. Just reply to my email with your printers when you have it. I'll make sure I get that quote and send it back to you, and then I'll call you back and we'll talk about it from there.
Okay, perfect.
But it's basically it turns a cold lead into a warm lead by them, you know, going through that.
Okay.
So customer worksheet's important. The customer demo, cartridgeworlddemo.com. Hope you wrote that down somewhere. That's a really handy tool for you to show customers what you have to offer. Without you doing it, and it's, like I said, it's branded to Cartridge World, looks super professional. And then, you know, getting that icon on the desktop is also very, you know, key. I do want to show you this because it didn't get to earlier because it was turned off. I didn't know why it was acting that way, but I'll show you. Order forms. By the way, everything in EasyOrder as of last year is mobile friendly, and so we've made it so the site will shrink down onto a mobile phone. And
Okay.
so if your customers are only mobile, like say they only use their cell phones, you send them a welcome email and they get that welcome email, they will actually, if they click on it on a cell phone, it takes them to this page. And then instead of download the icon, it'll say, do you have Apple or Android? And then they can pick which one they have. And then it'll download an icon to the home screen of their phone. And whenever they need to order, they just click on your icon on the home screen of their phone, and it takes them to the order form, very similar to how the desktop icon does. Yeah, absolutely.
They can do it from their phone directly.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure that we're mobile friendly because everything's mobile these days.
Yes.
So now that I have this, let me see. Okay, yeah. So I wasn't able to show this earlier because your desktop icon. Yep. You there? Can you hear me?
I'm not hearing.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now it's better.
So this was turned off earlier, but I want to show you it now. If you click on this icon, Windows will always pop this up. Windows protected your PC. You'd say run anyway. And basically what it'll do is it'll install that Cartridge World icon. Just go install and close. And so right from here, you'll see that.
Hi. I'm not hearing again. It's like your voice is cutting in the middle.
Out. Okay. Can you hear me now?
No.
No, not great. Try one more time. Can you hear me now?
I think it's better now.
Okay. This is the last thing, and then we can wrap it up. But I just wanted to show you that this is the Cartridge World branded icon, and it has the Cartridge World logo on it. So obviously, if you can get them to install this icon, it's much better for your business because it's reinforcing the Cartridge World.
I'm not hearing you right now. It's like a beep in the middle. Something wrong with your voice.
I'm sorry. It could be the voice over IP system I have. Well, we're really at the end of the training anyway, so I guess we can end now. But if you have any questions, let us know, okay?
Okay, sure. But thank you so much for your time and the explanation.
Absolutely. I'm going to send you a couple emails, one with the video that we did, and also with my contact information. If you need anything, don't hesitate to call us, okay?
Okay, great.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.